Hello guys, and welcome to Let's Play Demon Souls. This is going to be my first Let's Play series. I'm Snowden421, and let's go ahead and get started. Let me just change over. Alright, there we go. Oh wait, we don't want to load the game. No, go back. Great first start. Alright, so let's start a new game, make a new character. For those of you who played Dark Souls who are wondering why I'm playing this game first, it's because, well, this game came out first, and so that's why I'm going to play it. We're going to go... we're going to go with the name Gold. It'll be Goldie. And we are going to be a female character. Females have some definite advantages in this game, so we want to take advantage of that. And when starting a new game, there's a few different classes that have different stats, you know, based on whether they have vitality, endurance, strength, dex, you know, so on and so forth. Basically, I like starting as one of two classes. Either I start as the Temple Knight, seeing as how they have the best heavy armor, or the highest defense starting gear. They have the halberd, which is a really nice weapon to start with. A shield that blocks 100% physical damage. Some jobs start with shields that don't block 100% physical, like the Thief, for instance. Yeah, they're really strong, and they have the heal miracle, so they can heal themselves right off the bat. Pretty useful. The other class that I recommend people starting with, because the downside of the Temple Knight is that it has very heavy armor, so you are a little bit slower. And the class I recommend is the Royalty. You start at Soul Level 1, you come equipped with a ring that regenerates magic, and you start with a very powerful spell. For the purposes of this walkthrough, that's the one I'm going to go with. So we're going to go ahead and be her. Yeah, we'll come from the west. What kind of hairstyle do we want? Okay, short wavy. And of course, we got the goldy locks. Okay, that looks good. Alright, she's pretty, I guess. Let's go ahead and start a new game. I'm going to be a little quiet during the intro, so that you guys can hear the wonderful story that this game has to offer.
King Aland XII, by channeling the power of souls, brought unprecedented prosperity to his northern kingdom of Boletaria. That is, until the colorless deep fog swept across the land. Boletaria was cut off from the outside world, and those who dared penetrate the deep fog never returned. But Valorfax of the royal twin fangs broke free from the fog and told the world of Boletaria's plight. That the old King Alant had aroused the Old One, the great beast below the Nexus, from its eternal slumber, and that a colorless fog had swept in, unleashing terrible demons. The demons hunt down men and claim their souls. Those who lose their souls also lose their minds. The mad attack the sane, and chaos reigns. Valorfax spoke of the enticing power of the demon souls. Each time a demon claims a human soul, the demon's own soul is invigorated by the life force, and the power of a mature demon soul is beyond human imagination. The legend spread quickly. Mighty warriors were drawn to the accursed land, but none have returned. Bjorn of the Twin Fangs, Yurt the Silent Chief, Sage Urbane, Skurver the Wanderer, the Sixth Saint Astraya, humankind faces a slow and steady extinction. The deep fog will eventually swallow all lands near and far. But Boletaria has one final hope. A lone warrior who has braved the baneful fog. Has the land found its savior? Or have the demons found a new slave?
Okay, quite a story. Yes, we want to play the Journey to the Nexus. This is basically the tutorial of the game. I highly recommend you play this part of the game, especially if you've never played a game like this before, because definitely takes a little bit of getting used to. So if that story felt like a bit of an overload to you guys, don't worry, everything will be clear. I thought it was pretty cut and dry though. Demon showed up, we gotta kill him. And I like the little loading screens. They show you characters that you can encounter throughout the game. So that's Selin Vinland.
Brave soul who fears not death. I shall guide you. So that you may lull the old one back to slumber.
Alright, so here we are. This is the tutorial level. Controls, right stick controls the camera, left stick controls your movement. Press X to look at messages on the ground. So, go ahead. This game is a PlayStation 3 exclusive, unlike its spiritual successor Dark Souls. So, I'm going to be referring to this in the PlayStation 3 controls set. So R1 is a standard attack. There you go, and you just stab, and you can tap it a couple times, and you can keep stabbing them. Get a little combo. You'll notice that it drains the green bar. Green bar is your stamina. Let's see what this says. Hold direction and hold circle to sprint. That also uses stamina, which you can run, so that's nice. L1 is to guard, so always equip a shield in your left hand so you can guard. Let's see. And sometimes an enemy will deflect off your shield, so you can use that, follow up with a little counter attack, and you'll do a little extra damage. Push in the right stick to lock onto an enemy, and then you can flick it left and right to different enemies. So it's... Ooh. Now you see how that attack did a little bit more? It's because I hit him after he was staggered from... after he got deflected off my shield. Alright, so let's continue on up the stairs. Now, a little trick for Demon Souls. Whenever we're going somewhere dark, always have your shield up. Or else... yeah, that guy will hit you. So that was nice. Actually, I was going to show that a little later, but sure. Basically, if you go behind an enemy, hit the standard attack button when your shield is not raised. So make sure you have your shield down. You'll do what's known as a backstab. It does a lot of damage, and certain weapons actually get the damage increased. So like daggers and rapier type weapons. They do a little bit more damage than another weapon would, like a straight sword or something like that with backstab. So if you like stabbing people in the back, you probably want to be a dagger, rapier kind of player. So let's see, circle backstep, and circle in a direction is to roll. So this is a good way to evade some enemies. Let's try something else out here. Let's see. Yeah, alright. So if you hit the L2 button right before an enemy hits you, you'll do what's known as a parry. Follow that up with a standard attack. And you'll do a riposte, which does massive damage. It's the strongest attack you can do in the game is a parry riposte. The timing can be a little bit tricky, so these guys are pretty good for practicing. Let's see if I can show you now the backstab. So we'll let him jump, go around him, get up behind him, make sure your shield's down, and click R1, shank him. These are archstones. You hit these to basically warp to the next area. They have another focus, or another thing besides warping to the next area in later in the game, but for now, that's all they do. Sage Freight the Visionary. I wonder if we're going to get to meet him. Alright, so then R2 is a strong attack, so it uses a bit more stamina, but easier to stagger an enemy, very powerful. I don't really like it on the rapiers. Some have really nice power attacks. This is not one of them, in my opinion. Yeah, so there's parry and riposte. So let's go ahead and just parry these guys, because I think with this weapon I can pretty much one-shot any of them. And, little trick is I like to wait. I like to watch their hand. Watch their hand or their wrist. Right when it's about to hit you, that's usually a good time to parry. Now, if you saw there, I took a little bit of damage. It's because my parry timing wasn't perfect. So I took a little damage, but I still got the parry off. This game's a little forgiving when it comes to that. So when you press triangle, you can wield the weapon in both hands. Now, it's not really useful for a stabbing weapon, a thrust type weapon, but on other weapons, you can actually break someone's guard. And see, it's not as good with a rapier weapon because they don't do a lot of damage. But if you had like an axe or something, I could easily stagger this guy and break his guard. But instead, we'll just parry, riposte, dead Blue-Eyed Knight. Now, those Blue-Eyed Knights are a little bit tougher than the other enemies. As well, I guess you really didn't know since I one-shotted them, but yeah, they're tougher. They can mess around with you, and they can also heal. So that's something to keep in mind when you fight them. Okay, yeah. So now with the D-pad, that's how you change your weapons up. You have 2 right-hand slots, 2 left-hand slots, and then you have the bottom down on the D-pad is to cycle through your weapons or your items. Press square to use them. Grasses are healing items, and Royal Lotuses for poison. And then you press up, that'll change your spell slots, or cycle through your different spells. In this case, we only have Soul Arrow, so let's test it out. The next enemy is a ranged enemy. Bam! So this actually has pretty good range. It's really nice for taking out guys like that, archers. There's crossbowmen in this game. They're a bunch of jerks. So we want to take them out as little trial as possible. Let's see if we can parry this guy out. It's kind of hard to parry on the stairs, but let's see if we can. Yeah, now when you parry someone on the stairs, make sure you run up as close as you can to their body. That way you'll actually do some damage. I can actually deflect bolts, as you saw. I deflected it and I took a little less damage than I would have normally. Okay, now this is a fog door. This basically separates the areas in a given level. Let's step forward and we're into the next part. Go down here and get this item. Some more moongrass, not bad. Let's get one more parry for the road. Yeah, riposte. Yeah, getting good at parries and ripostes will make most of the standard enemies in this game a lot easier. If you can learn the timing of their attacks, it really is helpful. Now, if you're playing with a class with heavy armor, I guess I should probably explain that. Press start to open the menu. You can see inventory. Click the R2 or L2 buttons to cycle through different things. You have inventory, equipment, status, world tendency, system. Now I'll go over world tendency a little bit later. Status basically just shows you everything. But basically what we want to look at is equip burden. Now your equip burden, there are actually a couple different types of movement speed. And that's based on the amount of equipment you have. So equip burden is basically what you have equipped in everything on the left side here. Everything on the right side does not count towards your equipped weight. It does count towards your item burden. Yeah, if you carry too much in this game, you won't be able to carry anymore. But equip burden, if you are below 50% of your maximum equip burden, you will do this kind of rolling fast. Now, I wish I could show you, but I don't have anything heavy to equip, so I can't really show you. But if I had more than 50% of 37, which is what, 18, 19, somewhere between 18 and 19, 18.5 I guess. If I had above 18.5, so 19 units of equip, If I had that, I would do this big fatty roll where I basically throw myself on the ground, and you move a lot slower. So for this next part, I recommend making your equip burn less than 50%. Also, you're not going to need a shield because you're not going to be blocking anything, so don't bother with that. And if you have a weapon, you're probably going to want to two-hand it. I have spells, so we're actually going to start with those. And then we're just going to give this guy a run for his money. So enter the fog door, and we'll fight our first boss of the game, the Vanguard. First thing you want to do, run along just like I did there. Now you probably don't want to lock onto this guy because it'll restrict your movement because you'll move in basically a circle around him. So you want to be able to move a lot faster. Basically you just want to kind of stick to his weapon arm and stay behind him or on his side. So anytime he turns at you, yeah, exactly, just like that. And then for us, we're just going to lock in, blast him with some spells. Be careful, yeah. Okay, now if he does this, just stay behind him and back off a little bit. He's got a little AoE that hits the ground, but basically all his attacks hit in front of him in a wide circle, so you're going to want to stay away from those. Ooh, now when he does that one, I like to roll towards his blade, get on the side of him, because that one usually trips me up when I run the other way. So we're just going to keep blasting him in the butt. Now you don't have to kill this guy. If you die, the game will just continue on like normal. But if you do kill him, you get a cool reward. So we're going to want to try to beat this guy. Luckily we got that ring that I was telling you about that recovers our MP. You might have seen it when I was in the flipping through the weapon screen. Oof. Alright. Almost got him. A few more spells. Yeah, I like to dodge roll because when you dodge roll, there's actually a few frames of invincibility that you have. You want to take advantage of. Alright, let's get him with our weapon. Poke him in the butt. Poke him. Alright, there goes the Vanguard. And I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but when you defeat enemies, that counter in the bottom right hand, that's your soul counter. That is basically your experience and your money in the game. Very important. Killing bosses will get you more souls. And you get a special soul, a Grey Demon Soul, for defeating the Vanguard. Yeah, I guess I can go a little bit longer on today's episode since it's our first episode. So let's go ahead and go to the next area. Now you can only access this area if you defeated the Vanguard. If you die to the Vanguard, you miss out on this area, and then it'll pick up after that. Alright, so new area. Holy cow, that is one angry looking dude. If you watch the intro video of the game, it's somewhere on YouTube, I'm sure you can find it. He's the dragon you see in the intro. Get some full moon grass, yeah, so you get some nice rewards for beating the Vanguard. You get some higher level grasses. Basically they're in phases of the moon, so just, goes crescent, half, full. And then I think there's new moon and dark moon grass. And then I kind of went through that a little quickly, but those are shards of hard stone and sharp stone. Those are for upgrading your equipment. So yeah, it's going to be nice. We're going to be able to upgrade probably two weapons right off the bat. So that's pretty nice. A guy was thinking about the dragon punch. Well, I think I've got enough magic. Yeah, sure, let's take him on. What are you going to do? Oh! What? No way! I'm not supposed to die? Yeah, so no matter what happens, you will die in this game at least once. You have to die. Whether you die on the Vanguard, die in the tutorial part, or die to that big dragon god, you gotta die. So now we'll watch the next scene, and then after that I'm probably going to stop recording this episode and work on the next one. Nexus has trapped your soul. You cannot escape the Nexus. However, by capturing demon souls, you can reclaim your physical body. Yeah, if you look at the top left, basically our life bar got cut in half because we're dead now. We are in soul form. There's soul form and body form. We don't make movement in this form, and our attack power and defense is slightly increased. But we also have half-life, so yeah, it's pretty scary. But what awaits us in this new place? This is basically the Nexus of the area, as it says on the top right, the Nexus. This is your central hub. Basically, the way this game works is you go to different spots. They each have a level. The levels have a few stages in them, and then this is your central hub where you can basically buy equipment and store all your stuff and all that good stuff. But we'll talk to everybody next time. For now, we'll see you later. So I'm going to show you something else. If you hold down the X button, a gesture menu will pop up, and you can actually, this is how you communicate in the game. There's no audio chat, so basically, in order to talk to people or tell them what to do, you gotta, do this. So until next time, see you guys later.